Ooh, hello, beautiful souls. Get into nature. I'm here to remind you it's only about 40 degrees. I've got all my clothes on, bundled up, a little bit of sunshine, but mostly cloudy here. Spring is not wanting to stick for some reason. Confirmation video. We're just going to give you some codes. 1818, 818, 8 energy, abundance. And we're going to just talk about the Archangels. I journaled this yesterday. What came through is the 4 corners, working with the 4 corners, earth, air, fire, and water. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Uriel. All right. So I just, for some reason, like I said, when I get curious and I get some information, I go down that and I journal it because I'm meant to share it with you. All right. So, and there's different, I didn't write down, I don't think we'll see when I get to the end of this, something you can tap into. But you can tap into the elements, and I embody, as you do, all of the elements, and different archangels sit at different corners. All right, so you can call in the corners earth, air, fire, water to work with when you're meditating, when you're doing any type of work in the healing arts, whatever it is. So in the east, it's the air, it's the dawn, it's new beginnings. Archangel Raphael, this is the color emerald and sometimes golden green light. It's the air element. It's also this healing flow, healing energy, this flow, energy, restoration, and breath. All right, the frequency is expansion, renewal, and gentle awakening. So call the corners in, call the archangels in, all right? Ask for all of the assistance where you need it, okay? Don't be afraid to ask. Raphael stands where the sun rises, the place of first light. The energy of fresh starts, healing winds, the breath that brings life back into tired places. Raphael whispers, breathe again, breathe again. So let's take a deep breath. I'm going to put my feet on the ground as the sun starts shining even more. Thank you, Source. Now we're going to tap into the corner. South, fire. Midday power. Archangel Michael. Color is this electric blue or this sapphire flame. The element is fire. Energy is protection, truth, courage, and divine will. 244 on the timer. The frequency of this is strength, clarity, and action. Michael stands in the fullness of the sun, the place of intensity and truth. The energy of cutting through illusions, standing in your power, which we've been talking about all week and for often. I've been very loud and proud about that. Learning to stand in your power, stand empowered, and call your power back. And it is sacred protection. So call in Archangel Michael when you're wanting to learn how to tap into your truth, your authenticity, and standing in your power. And for sacred protection. Michael declares, stand in truth, fear will dissolve in the light. So I stand in my truth, and fear dissolves in my light. I stand in my truth, and fear dissolves in my light. West, water, sunset, emotional depth. This is Archangel Gabriel. The color is silver, pearl, or soft white light. The element is water. The energy is intuition, messages, dreams, and emotional flow. So again, it's learning to go with the flow, pay attention to your dreams, look at the messages, the signs, the synchronicities, the codes, but also with this emotional flow is learning to be a master of your emotions and literally going with the flow. The frequency is receptivity, learning to be open to receive all of the miracles, the magic, the love, the light. Also this reflective energy and this inner voice energy, learning to listen to your inner voice, learning to sit and to be able to reflect on what has happened. Instead of playing the victim, have some reflection on what was my soul wanting to grow into, because I had to go through this, is what's coming through. Gabriel stands where the sun sets, the place of mystery and your inner world. Gabriel stands where the sun sets, the place of mystery and inward turning. So remember, all the answers are in you, not outside of you. This energy is of listening deeply and receiving guidance. All right, it's entering the dream space. Gabriel murmurs, be still. The messages are already within you. Like I just said that, 522 on the timer. So be still, and the messages are already within you. So you need to slow down and be still. The north, earth, midnight, wisdom and foundation. This is Archangel Uriel. The color, golden, yellow, amber, or deep earth tones. The element is earth. The energy is wisdom, grounding, stability, and insight. The frequency is anchoring and understanding and ancient knowing. Uriel stands in the stillness of the night, the place of the deep knowing and the roots. This is the energy of your inner wisdom, steady presence, and truth that does not rush. Uriel says, be rooted, and all clarity rises from stillness. So I'm going to read through really quick, and I ask you to kind of just tap in, write these down. I breathe again. I breathe again. Raphael whispers. You can say that to yourself. I breathe again. I breathe again. Archangel Michael. I stand in my truth, and fear dissolves in my light. Archangel Gabriel. Be still, and the messages are already within me. I become still, and the messages are already within me. And Archangel Uriel says, be rooted. So you can say, I am rooted, and all clarity rises from stillness. Okay? So it's really good to write these down, affirm them, and just see how that feels. You see if you receive any downloads, some information, some activations. Because I am an activator, I am an amplifier, I am a walking tower, one might say. I'm a force of all elements. And yeah, my energy is so big and so vast. I'm learning so much. I'm a walking lie detector test. I'm sometimes not feel like a gentle energy. Sometimes I am. It depends on what is being called in, what source energy is being called in. Because I'm always connected to source directly in cosmic consciousness. But whatever energy is needing to come in per the soul's evolution is how it's presented. And it always comes from an unconditional place of unconditional love and light, always within divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, divine wisdom, divine empowerment, divine knowledge, divine remembrance, divine magic. And I don't know half the time what is coming through, but sometimes it comes through a little more urgent or soft or forceful or fiery or flowy, whatever it is, okay? If you encounter my energy one-on-one, you'll know. So let's see here. Cosmic circle as a whole, so connecting all of these beautiful energies, these archetypes together. When you bring all four elements together, all four angels together, you get a living field. So I would work with this, the corners, the angels, and you create a very powerful living field, all right, in your energetic field. So you remember, Raphael is breath and beginning, which is the east. Michael is south, fire and action. Gabriel is west, water and feeling, and north is Uriel, earth and stability. This isn't just about the angels out there. Remember, it's also about the map of your inner world. This is you, your mind and your breath, Raphael, your will and your courage, Michael, your emotions and your intuition, Gabriel, and your foundation and your wisdom, Uriel. When balanced, you become a living intersection of heaven and earth, motion and stillness, fire and water. And why this is so powerful for me, because at this point, I embody all of that archetypal energy in my field. And I know it, and I can feel it, and I know when one particular archetype is presenting stronger for, like I said, what is needed, or all of them, or a couple of them. All right? So all circling, moving and harmonizing, These are not outside of you, but they are through you and with you and part of you. So imagine yourself standing in the center of a sacred circle. You can do this outside, in your room, and around you are the 4 directions. And all these 4 directions are alive. And each one is held by an archangel. And each one is carrying a frequency, a color, a role in your evolution. Okay? So again, you can use this at any point. All right? If you're just kind of coming across this, or I landed here, or you've kind of already been going through it and maybe you're struggling a little bit. Remember, this is a never-ending job. It just gets easier to navigate. Okay? And I've got a lot of drainage, a lot of, like, I go through these mild purges and detoxes. You might be going through a massive purge and detox. These light codes, these sun codes, these solar codes are pushing out the parasites, the dormant shit that's been trying to hide in your physical body and potentially in your field. But a lot of us, you feel it in the physical body. That looks like runny noses, sore throats, coughing, choking attacks, sinus drainage. Mine is mild. It's kind of annoying, but I'd rather have that than an upper respiratory, lower respiratory. So here's another fun food for fact. Is last year after the cycle was a little different in the moons. So the pink full moon, which was in Libra last year in April, I believe it was on the 12th, we had that. There's a massive awakening for me on the 20th of April, no, the 17th of April, 5 days later, change 5. Thank you, I just made that connection. And then you had your Scorpio new moon, which was towards the end of April of last year. And then I had a lot of emergency Reiki sessions in there that were removing things that were still stuck in the field that had been, yes, energetic parasites, attachments, faults like beings, whatever the fuck you want to call it. All right, stranger things of many names, many levels to many devils, whatever the fuck, okay? I don't give it my time and energy. I just give it, it needs to have awareness, but I don't give it any more than awareness, because people need to have awareness, because not everything's all fucking love and light, all right? Found this out the hard way. Or was it the hard way? There's a note for you. Yeah, and so looking back, because I've journaled everything, right? I've journaled everything. So this is funny, my journal from May of last year, because I ordered these. I love these multicolors. They're pretty much the same color. It's funny how that works. Yellows and golds are very prominent right now, is coming up. All right, we digressed. Where did we go? All right, the cycles of the moon. So everything for me happened that kicked off my full-blown awakening and sent me into the Hermit, the dark night of the soul, all of this stuff. And so you might be feeling that now, because this month, the full moon in the pink full moon was the 1st of April. And then you had your new moon in, I don't remember what the new moon was in April. And then your full moon was a few days ago in Scorpio. And Scorpio, learn about astrology. I don't know a lot about the bits and pieces I've picked up over this past year. It will blow your fucking mind. And if you're tracking it, like, just put in a journal. Okay, it's the new moon in Libra. And like I said, 5 to 7 days before for me, 5 to 7 days after, there's a lot going on. It's not like just in that portal. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's a lead up and into and then an out of. It's like an, okay. Okay, the team just wanted me to preface a dog going in heat. And I remember my uncle saying 1 week in, 1 week on, 1 week out? Correct me if I'm wrong, but like a dog going in heat, like you want to be careful, because it's like a week in, a week on, a week out. Like you don't want to fuck her. I like something like that. I don't think it was 3 in. I don't know, whatever. But that just came to mind, which is like so fucked up, because that's something from a child, like my childhood, that talking about the moon cycles, and they just like are laughing at me now. Again, we keep it real, we keep it raw, we keep it authentic, we don't give 0 Fs. But it was funny. Maybe someone needed that reference. But if you can go back, like I can go back to my journal, the portals, the 5-5 portal, which will be coming up in a couple of days, you know, so we're in this full moon energy, a Scorpio of this death and rebirth, and the new moon going into, I believe, Sagittarius. So all of this cycles, like I just had no idea. But we are so deeply connected to the astrology, the planets, because we are the planets and the moon, that you'll see major life changes or awakenings. And you'll see that around the moon cycles and the astrological cycles. Yeah, you'll see that. Okay? So, don't be surprised if you're going something through right now. All right? And don't be afraid to go within. Connect to the elements, connect to nature, connect to the angels, and call a legion in. Don't ask for a little bit of help, ask for a lot of help. You need to ask for help though, because they can't help you. It's called free will. Non-intervention. You have to ask for help. And my crow comes in again as confirmation. Thank you. This crow spirit guide came in last video. So crows are significant. All right. So that is our message today. I hope it resonates, as I know it will, in some way, shape, or form. The frequency, the energy, the words, the codes, the authenticity, whatever it is. And it's all perfect. And remember, you're not dying, you're just waking up. You're going through a dark night of the soul. Maybe you're coming out on the other end and you're getting ready to get fully activated. It just depends on where you're at in your journey. And it's all perfect, right? You're not behind. You're divinely on time. Your soul coded yourself perfectly. You signed these contracts. You just forgot because you wanted to learn a bunch of stuff. Now you're remembering. Now you're healing. Now you're growing because you've been going through stuff. All right? And it's all perfect. Even in what feels like it's uncomfortable and imperfect, it's all perfect. And you're perfect. And I'm here to remind you to stand in your power, to call your power back, and to walk through your day with love, grace, and compassion for yourself, but stand empowered. Know how powerful you are, because you are a god, you are a goddess, you are a king, and you are a queen. You walk through your day. Even if your reality looks nothing like that, you could look like a pauper, but you walk through your day and you walk through your life and you embody this empowerment, this power energy, mountain energy, what has been coming through all week. And see what happens. I'll be curious. Save the video. Let me know. I love you. Bye.